Hi guys, as you can see, I've redesigned my Sona. I decided that I wanted to have something different. I also made these cute chibi sprites. Now on to the point of the video. I've managed to redesign all the OCs I have in one specific universe. But instead of showing that, I decided to spin a wheel with lists of different fandoms and then try to draw my OCs dressed as some of the characters in the fandom. So let's get onto the wheel. As you can see, I've put 6 different fandoms on the wheel. I'm only going to spin 3 times, so if people want me to do another one of these, then I could do it with the ones that weren't picked with the same OCs or different ones. So with that, let's start the wheel. This one was honestly painful for me to do. I am not one for drawing details, so this was so far out of my comfort zone. The OCs I chose here are Unity, Iris, and Annalise. Basically, the story is, Unity returned to her hometown after her grandmother's passing. Unity was given her grandmother's most precious book to now she knows is a magic book, allowing her to become a superhero with the ability to control people's minds. She also decides to use her book as a diary as there is never-ending pages. And to be honest, I only have a hero design for Unity. Annalise is kind and very confident person who was gifted a bracelet for helping a mysterious person. As a superhero, she is given the ability to easily make a living thing go into a trance with her siren songs. However, Iris isn't actually a person. She is a drawing created by one of the OCs you'll see later on. She ended up having a fascination for stars and also believed that she has amnesia. I have already shown Iris in one of my shorts, which is technically a redraw of something I drew 2 previous times already. Iris is probably my favorite out of all of these OCs. I tried to add in outfits I think would both suit them and also give them a reason to wear it. Like how I gave Unity something that she wears as it is uniquely different to the other 2 and it seems rebellious in style. Like how Unity has a rebellious side of herself. But it can be simply as I just gave Iris Yui's outfit as of all the star on it, and Annalise has Morel's outfit because she is one of the main characters in Prepara and she would be the most likely to be an idol due to her love of music. This drawing took so long that the other ones seem a little more lazy when you compare it all. I was so proud of the hands in this piece, as I don't try to draw hands holding items. Also, after I drew all these pieces, I found this one default brush on Procreate I like, which I used for the thumbnail, the chibis, and literally every piece I've been making, which is only one piece lol. But I know I'll continue to use that brush. I found it so hard to make sure all the details were there. I kept on forgetting details so far into making the piece that it's kinda insane. I feel like doing a piece like this would be beneficial as I have one OC that's a singer and 5 other OCs that are in their own band. I also rarely draw pieces with more than one character in it, so these pieces help me for character interactions. And in this current point of editing, I've been trying to make an animatic of 2 other OCs I hope to introduce later on, but I intend to get this video posted before that. I'm still experimenting with colors and stuff, so the coloring process and the 3-speed paints aren't a method that's set in stone, and honestly, I don't believe I will have a set coloring process, but that's okay. Also, this might just be my lack of motivation, but I've spent days on editing this video. But I also plan to do a 30-day art challenge with one specific OC. I like the fact that the colors on the outfits don't match the character's main colors, so I get to see them in a different view. The story hasn't been fleshed out, but I know that I want to keep the idea of superheroes, and the reason I ever made this was because of this one dream I had about getting a book, then having the ability to control people's mind, and also my friends had abilities, so I just kept the basic concept. I've been very inspired by both Project Sakai cards and Bandori cards to attempt to make colorful cards. Let me know if you want to know anything else about these OCs, and with that, enjoy the rest of the speed paint. Here is the final result. I honestly love this piece so much. Now let's get on to the next fandom. So these three OCs are Cerise, Hugh, and Scepter. I immediately decided that these three had to be together as they are the only other good guys in this story. However, Scepter is a villain turned hero, and Cerise is one of the people that probably won't trust him even when he is a hero. I made Cerise be Zubul as they both appear unbothered or unapproachable. Hugh be Kinger due to him being the only character in a relationship which is with Iris, and Scepter be Kane as in the later episodes he worries about people not liking him or his ideas. For their powers, Cerise originally had something quite identical to Unity, so I've changed it to teleportation, being able to move anything with their moon bracelet. Hugh has the ability to make his creation come to life, in which he used to make Iris, and as for Scepter, he as a villain shared the ability of fire manipulation and shadow manipulation with his sister, and now as a hero he has the ability to alter time, either going back or forth. We will be talking about Scepter's sister in the next speed paint. In their story, there's no way I'm making all of the characters know each other, so Unity, Cerise, Scepter, and someone we'll talk about later all know each other as they are all in the same year and friend group, whilst Hugh, Iris, Annalise, and Scepter's sister are in the year above, and some partially know others. Let me as well with these characters if you want to know anything else about them. Now enjoy the rest of the speed paint. Here's the final result. Now let's get on to the last one. These three are Ava, Faiza, and Casper. They are all the villains in this story. Faiza is Scepter's older sister, and originally she was going to be Unity's love interest, but with the redesigns, I don't think I can give them a relationship. Faiza was also meant to die in the story by sacrificing herself, so that is why she is wearing Kato's outfit, and there is no way I was going to try and draw Kibo's outfit, but it was in consideration, not gonna lie. Ava was meant to be the one character nobody knew. When everyone's identities were revealed, she is a homeschooled character. She is dressed as Samuji as I wanted her to love trying different types of fashion. Casper is Unity's childhood best friend who develops a crush on Unity before she leaves, but his feelings have stayed for a long amount of time. He also loves bugs, which is mainly the reason I gave him Ghana's outfit. As for their abilities, Ava has the ability to quickly take an animal's adaptation. For example, she can go as fast as a cheetah without turning into a cheetah. Faiza has fire and shadow manipulation, and Casper has the ability to transcend through and to shapeshift. In their story, Casper is continuously the most important as he ends up doing something that triggers the ending. I don't know what it is, but I always wanted him to be extremely evil. As in the beginning it was that Casper killed Unity's grandmother, and then after that it was that he kidnaps Unity, in which ultimately reveals his identity, and he also gets arrested. But I don't think those ideas go well, so I'll have to think about that. And with that, enjoy the rest of the speed paint. Here's the final result. That is all for the video, so let me know if there's anything you want to know for these characters. And with that, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night.